I am well.
And
Glad to see
everybody
you're
else
back.
viewing, hello, hi. Welcome everybody to Monday Munch.
Hello.
Oh yeah, it is. Hello.
We're talking about a really fun topic tonight that I'm very excited about. And I think we all are really actually very excited about. Unconventional date ideas.
Yep. Hell yeah. Hi, I'm me. I'm the Mister. I am the guy, the host of this bullshit. I'm glad you guys are here with us for another week. We hopefully have some friends and fans coming to see us. I'm excited for all the shenanigans that have been happening, and we will hopefully they shenanigans today. Somebody's having a tornado warning, or sounds like for a second.
I think a rumbly car just drove by me.
Yeah, it was just a motorcycle, good old Harley.
Got turned on or something.
Kind of sounded like aliens for a second.
But yeah, here we are. We are here. Hi here. I'm me.
Hi. Hello.
So I'm Jen, and if you want better introductions of all of us, you're more than welcome to stream some of our prior munches. We do better sometimes. Sometimes we do worse. It's just a fun ride.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Or we could introduce ourselves properly.
Who's next?
I think Alice should go next.
Okay. Hi, I'm Alice. I run a nonprofit in West Virginia helping people, specifically trans people, get the care that they need. And I'm studying cybersecurity, I work IT, and I'm also a shit poster on Facebook. Hello.
Hello, Becca.
hi, Becca.
I'm gonna set up the neat little thing over here. It'll pop up here.
Ray.
Oh, sorry. I am Ray. I am here paying attention, but I am also painting. So there's that. Who am I? Shit. Sorry.
You are
I
a
am.
person.
Yeah, I am a person. I am very tired today, so I apologize. Oh yeah, I'm a parent. I do that thing.
That thing.
Yeah. I do the parent thing, and I advocate for other people's children too, because I'm everybody's mom, and that's me.
Well, we
Hello.
And on happy belated Mother's Day, Ray.
Okay, cool.
Hello, lab. And I'm the one, the only, the basics, and I'm here to make sure that all these cats are herded properly, at least as well as I can. So welcome to the shit show.
Good luck.
So I feel like I need to come in and back and do a little bit of a job, do it for Jen here. I make some really badass vloggers. In fact, I just released some scrappy vloggers today that are available, and they're really badass. Polyamorous, pansexual. They are not on my website. You have to contact me through Facebook for the scrappy vloggers. Thanks, mister. What else about me? Oh, I like baby cows and purple.
Baby cows in purple. That sums up Jen quite easily. You want to make her happy?
Yeah.
And last but not
Peace,
least,
love, and happiness.
Hi.
Hi.
It's a dream.
well, that was
I'm
underwhelming.
always
I thought I was going to see you.
Yeah, you'll see me later when,
Okay. But that's
Yeah.
fair. I just was like, oh, Dream's going to be on camera tonight. Bam. And then, no, you're not there.
That stream right there, you see? In the little bubble.
yeah.
That's as big as Dream is. That's the whole Dream right there.
Yep. Blown you
I don't know what your problem is, Mister. I see Dream just fine.
So we're in introductions. If you want to roll on and be the last, did we cover everybody? Yeah, we
Hi,
did.
love.
Did you do good, mister? Mister is the kinkslayer.com guy.
I had a much better introduction ready, but I was like, nah, I won't do it. It drives her nuts. So I decided not to.
What?
Does it have anything to do with the angle of the dangle? I'm just curious.
It had kind of, but I was going to give a quick shout out to my fan club.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I
Oh my
see.
god.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
Drink.
don't believe your fan club is here yet, though. I've been watching.
They won't be. This is Dream.
Dream is our resident outside of the box of everything. If there is a stereotype, Dream is not it. Period. All stop.
Oh, okay. Am I supposed to be doing an introduction? I thought you guys were still going.
Probably, but we'll interrupt you. Don't worry.
Okay, cool. Feel free to interrupt at any time.
Where's that?
I'm Dream, the asexual sadist, a hopeless romantic, a flirt, and a lover of sadistic nerds. There you go.
Nice. That was like the best of all of us. Sorry, guys.
Forget dating a masochist. I'm looking for someone who's gonna beat ass with me.
Get you someone who can do both.
Yeah.
Down for it. We are us, and we are here, and we do all these things. And the first and most important thing we're going to do tonight is communicate. Yep, 6 minutes in, we got that.
Where to be?
That's the
You
goal.
reckon-
We see how long it takes, but it just crossed my mind, and I was like, "Hey, we're gonna get that out of the way now."
That works.
But tonight is all about unconventional date ideas. I mean, it can be
Which
conventional
requires-
ideas, but
Go ahead. Sorry.
oh, you're good. Just like date ideas in general, just things to help people go along and figure out life and enjoy their relationships from first date to.
Maybe something that you might not have ever thought about doing with a potential partner or significant other, or
Or
how
something
you can
maybe.
even take your kids on dates ideas that I have. So, I mean,
So a lot of the date ideas I've had, I've been banned from picking out dates at this point.
Well, it sounds like you're dating
not
wieners, and not in like the physical sense, the personality wieners.
we've gone to great places.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had a great time in New York.
I would have never tried those delicious dumplings that I keep thinking about.
Today.
I know, I keep thinking about them too. Those dumplings were great. I believe it was called Lynn and Daughters.
Yep.
In New York.
How many times can we do this?
Daisy, what you got?
So one of the best ideas when it comes to unique dating is to step away from the norm. Anytime you think about just going out to dinner and a movie or dinner and dancing, there's all that societal pressure and expectation that just leaves you anxious and overwhelmed and overthinking literally everything that could go wrong. And then you've also got to be looking nice on top of it. Some of the best dates I've ever been on, like it talks about in the banner, is a picnic. I love going on picnics. To me, that is just a way to get out in nature, and you can be in shorts and a t-shirt and talk and have snacks and enjoy each other's company and get to know each other. That to me is one of the best icebreakers.
It's
Now,
one of
that's
my-
not to say that there isn't other great ideas out there, which we are going to explore. But this is how we can get away from these social expectations of dinner and a movie.
Day 6, did you just say you have sex on a picnic, or did I misunderstand something?
Well, I mean, you can.
Oh my!
I mean, I have, but I didn't explicitly say so. But thanks for bringing out my stuff. It's okay. It's fine.
Listen, Drew, a smorgasbord is a smorgasbord.
Look,
Amen.
I misheard him then, because he said something, a certain word that sounded a lot like the other word.
The other word, sex. You can say it. We're all big kids here.
So Rebecca brings up bowling, and Lav brings up some of the favorite dates that they've been on is with Alice, and when they've gone hiking. And again, that's like a picnic, but just with extra effort.
Bowling has become such a popular one lately. Like, everybody I know has gone bowling, and, it's a great date idea now.
It is when you have a group of people because you get to play and be interactive, and then if you have a couple people with you, you get to sit and talk while the other people are taking their turns. So it's a little bit of the best of both worlds. You got dinner, a show, entertainment, conversations. I mean, that's kind of like why it's become the new platform.
Yes, cooking together is an amazing date.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Hey, mister, remember how you said you wanted us to check you when you're being an asshole and or wrong? This is one of those times.
Cooking together, okay, people that have cooked for a living.
I've also cooked for a living.
So you should know you want people out of your fucking way when you're trying to make something the right way.
No,
Okay,
I get practice having company.
All right.
Let me interject with this idea. Cooking, finding, searching, Googling together, going to find the ingredients that you need for said recipe, and then following and doing the recipe together. You have a wish. It's mine.
As much as I love cooking with people, like on date ideas, if I'm like working or trying to do something and you get in my way, that'll be the end of you. If you mess up or try to change my recipe, that will be the end of you.
So let me add that caveat then. If we do like Jen said, if we're trying something brand new we've never done before, I am down. But if we're trying my recipe, like Dream just said,
yeah,
don't
like
come fuck
I'm
with
not
my recipe.
coming to fuck with your
is.
chicken farm. I'm not coming to fuck with none of that.
If you don't like it, don't eat it. I'll eat it later.
I swear to you, Grandma fucked up my fucking stuffed peppers once, and oh my god, I threw a fit.
I could see you.
All right.
So I really like the outdoor thing. That's one of my big favorite date ideas. And there's so many ideas you can run down through. Like places you can get these ideas are like Facebook events. Go check out those. They have like all kinds of crazy stuff advertised. And then places like with like miniature animal farms are advertising there. You can go there and support businesses.
Aquariums. I want to go to the aquarium, guys.
All right,
aquariums, also botanical gardens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Day 6, what you got? I'm about to learn the power of the button again. What were you trying to say a minute ago?
I was going to chime in on all these great ideas. Like the list can go on and on. You've got horseback riding, disc golf. You've got kayaking, canoeing. You can just go swimming. You can go to a garden, a community garden. You can go and volunteer together for a date. Go work in a soup kitchen for the night. Like, if you want to really test the mettle of your person that you're checking out, see what they can give back to their community. There are so many wonderful, unique, great ideas out there that get you out of the norm and away from it. Axe throwing, lovely, Becca.
Yes.
Axe throwing. That's what I want to go do with my lady here soon. Is because we have a couple good places here.
Can we go all together? That's something I want to do. Along with the break stuff room. I want to go to the break stuff room.
Hell
yeah. Rage room.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is a rage room is an excellent date idea.
Yeah, then you'll see how much rage they have pent up.
There you go. We'll call it the red flag date.
Right?
No. Just because I like to be violent, it does not mean I'm going to be violent towards you without consent.
But you can
it also not only would show how much rage is pent up, but it would also show whether or not said person is capable of channeling said rage in healthy ways.
Right.
So
Alice.
With all of these dates, I do want to just toss in the idea that for like a first date, you should always be somewhere public where there are other people.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Good
Hi, Matt.
advice. Hi, Matt.
Matt. Hi, Matt.
Oh,
Welcome to
hello,
lunch. We're
Matt.
discussing unconventional
So
date
we could
ideas.
truly just blab out like 1,000 dates at once
Mhm.
for sure. I've got a couple here.
Skydiving.
Like,
Right.
go ahead, Ray.
The biggest thing when considering an unconventional date is communication. Knowing your partner, knowing if said unconventional idea is going to fall within their physical capabilities, mental capabilities, like
That's
if they like to push themselves in different ways or not.
Yep, that's what I was going to chime in on, is the fact that you should communicate these things and toss these ideas out and see how your partner or whoever you're going on these dates with feels about doing these things. And I don't recommend, going skydiving on a second date,
That would be fun as shit to go on. Like, hey, first date, meet me at the skydiving range and see how adventurous you really are.
Look.
I'm not going to meet you there.
If you meet them and they're doing something
Right.
like bungee jumping and you say, let's go skydiving or mountain climbing, or like get in one of those big like circles with the motorcycles, I would totally do that. If anyone wants to go out on a date and do some crazy shit with me,
Go in the
Okay.
globe of death.
the wheel of death.
I don't really want to do that, but I'll watch. Just know your partner. And this is how
Communicate
you're
with your partner.
if they're not comfortable with doing these kind of things.
But, yeah,
And
absolutely. Go ahead,
there is a certain element where a lot of people like surprises on dates and stuff, but it's still important to know the parameters. Like you don't necessarily have to go over every detail, but if you're going on a date with somebody that has an anaphylactic reaction to bees, you probably don't want to go check out a hive.
Apiary.
Stephen.
Yeah, that. Thank you.
How close do you like to live life on the edge,
I guess you're only allowed to do that if you're dating Max Shrell, so you have access to the EpiPen. Sorry, that was horrible.
So, I mean, I have some things on this list that are not. There are things that I haven't done. There's some of them are just because like they don't interest me. So just like like the next one I have written down is like an art gallery hop. Like me, I'm not an art person though. Like you could show me like 6 lines on a paper, and you're like, oh, that speaks to me. I can just feel the memories they had in high school with the leaves blowing like that. It's like 6 lines on a piece of paper.
I would like to.
I was part of the art gallery.
Well, if it's living art, that might be cool, but that's a whole different thing.
First off, I would love that, and secondly, it's good to caveat that you can do things that your partner enjoys and just enjoy seeing them happy on a date, not necessarily do things that like you like all the time.
No, for sure. I mean, I like when I say it that way. I mean it like it's not going to be my idea to go. But if you're like, if I was to meet somebody like on Tinder or Facebook or something, like, hey, I want to go to an art gallery this weekend. I know we have a date. Would you be down to go? Like, sure, why not? I'm gonna listen to you analyze this shit all day and how wonderful it is and all the things that speak to you. Don't ask me because it's gonna look like just like I said, 6 lines on a page. But else.
It comes back to communication. It should be there should be discussion of what each person wants to do, and if there aren't like things that you agree on doing, maybe like take turns. One of the people that I'm seeing, we alternate picking the place, and we'll go. It's usually like a restaurant or something, but we'll go to like last week. I picked the place. We sat down. We like shot the shit for 2 hours in a restaurant, and the date before, which was like 3 weeks prior, they picked the place and we grabbed food and went and watched Farscape.
Very nice, very nice. And that's a really good way to do it as well, because that rotation. I mean, it keeps you both. One, it keeps you both teaching things about yourselves to the other,
Mhm.
But you also can experience new things that you may not have known you liked. And you're like, Oh, here we go.
I see that same person showing me Letterkenny a couple months ago.
Exactly. Like that's the best. Like Letterkenny is the greatest thing
It's
that
a
ever
great
happened.
show.
And if anybody disagrees, well, they're wrong. So
Pitter patter, let's get at her. Yes. Can you highlight what Becca just said, please? Because that's something I wanted to bring up during this whole date discussion. Keep dating your significant other, even when you've been together for a while. Take your person on dates. Take them out, do things, especially things they want to do. Keep it going. That's how you make relationships last. At least at my humble opinion.
every Monday.
Alice,
It doesn't always have to be going out. Like
true.
with Lav and I, we have a date every Thursday night. That's sometimes like once a month we go out to a restaurant, and the rest of the time we'll like talk about what we want to watch together, and like we'll either go out somewhere and get food if we don't want to cook, or like if we want to cook, we'll cook dinner together and then sit down and watch that thing we talked about in the week leading up to it.
Hell yeah.
But it's
Everybody
like
has
deliberately
their own-
spending that time together.
Indeed. Everybody has their own time schedules and whatnot. So, whatever works for you. But it's, again, the communication that we're so fond of. And the idea of that comment and the idea of this entire move was keeping that spark alive. If you want that relationship to last, the best way to do that is keep working on it.
I'm trying to get this mic out of the way because it keeps lighting up every time you guys talk. Go ahead, Ray.
I was just saying hello to Craig.
Hello, Craig.
But for me personally, I feel like for like a first, second, maybe even third date, it's very important to me to do something that we can talk. Like, because those are the getting to know each other dates. Like,
What's that thing, Mr.? Oh, we talked about it at Shelby Pride. Where you can fill it out together.
Oh, the
What's your
smorgasbord. We just
likes
said
and
it.
interests.
You just said a minute ago, smorgasbord.
Did I? Oh yeah, I did say that a minute
It's
ago.
a little,
Oh, you could
yeah.
fill it. Yeah, you could fill out the smorgasbord together.
but like for me, like dinner and a movie, fine, cool, but for a first date, a movie is pointless for me. Like if you're sitting at home watching a movie, that's great because you can talk, you can pause it, rewind it, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
But you can't exactly like sit and have an in-depth conversation in a movie theater. People behind you are gonna throw their shit at you.
Well, one good idea though, if that's still something. So, like, if something just came out that you really want to see, like I haven't seen Super Mario Brothers yet, but you could absolutely do a matinee. Don't make that your whole date or like the latest part of the date.
Mhm.
But we can have a matinee movie, and then maybe go have lunch or dinner, drinks, then do something fun on top of the movie already.
Well, now you're really pushing it because I'm fucking sleepy now, and I need like my own time away from society.
That brings
But
up
yeah,
so it's the 36 questions to make you fall in love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's how
hate
it
that
all
name
works.
because it's a very
It's pretty
clickbaity
cool.
name.
I mean, it's good theory. It really does help you get to know somebody. But
Yeah, I've done those questions with Lav and with Clara, and like it was a good time. We got to talk about like there was some trauma talking, and there was a lot of like childhood like here are big formative experiences that I wouldn't really have an organic way to talk to you about because of those questions.
yeah, well, if you think about it, if you date like a machine type of dating, like where you're just very methodical about what you do. First date, there you go. Answer those questions. If you don't feel the thing afterward, have a good night.
That is absolutely not a first date activity.
I see. Now I'm going to challenge myself to do such. I have
Oh my
to.
God.
If you have a first date where you do those questions, I want to hear how it goes.
Oh, absolutely. It's super fun.
I agree that with Alice that's not exactly first date thing. Maybe fourth or fifth.
maybe
spark
this
your
is the first date after you guys have talked on the freaking interweb for 2 years.
Well, see, no, okay. Here's the thing about
that. You know what? That's fair.
like the talking thing used to be essential. You know, I mean, you would maybe talk on the phone, you know, and stuff like that. But
That's what
up
was
until
so-
that first date, you didn't really have much interaction. Whereas nowadays, you may be texting each other 24/7 until the date happens. So if you guys want to go catch a movie, go catch a movie.
So I recommend doing the love language thing with each other and figuring that out so you can know, like, ahead of time that Ray's love language is communication and talking and getting to know one another over gifts and, like, movies and doing extravagant things where you're not going to be actually connecting with each other. Ray's looking for something that offers a connection. So if you were to know these things ahead of time, it could make your dates cooler. Just saying.
So like I'm fine with bookstores. I think book dates, like thrift stores, book sections specifically, because you can find some of the most fun, creative, insightful books.
I would definitely be down with going to a bookstore on a date.
Fine, you guys go to the bookstore. Dream and I are going to go throw axes. Let's go.
We'll throw axes at the bookstore.
No.
No.
No. We're not hurting the books.
Go to the bookstore.
At the books.
Pick out a book for each other. Go throw axes, and then after you throw axes and are worn out, go find somewhere nice and quiet to read together to cool down from throwing axes.
Throw axes at the people who are ruining the books in the library because those are public and most people don't have access to $20 to buy a book.
I'm with you there, Dream.
So not
Moving
long
target.
ago, it may not be classified as a date. I don't know. I'd have to communicate with them. But Jen and I went and had a date night with a couple. We ended up painting and doing all kind of fun things. So it was a good time.
Yeah.
That was really fun, actually, sitting together. I'm not an artist at all. So that was really fun to, like, oh, fuck.
Show it
I
off.
gotta do
It's on
art.
the wall.
Yeah, it's on the wall.
Show it off. Grab it. Stand up. Get it. Oh, you don't have to stand up.
Yeah, see, I don't want to. I can't reach it.
Oh,
It's okay. But
it was really good.
so now
Fun
we'll
time.
get to some of those specifically, Craig, in just a second. But that was really fun to sit down and, you know, because as it started, I was like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing. And then it just kind of came together, and everybody else, like, she's very artsy. The other girl's very artsy. But me and the boyfriends were not.
They're artsy.
And we were just like, you know what? We'll figure this shit out. It was a good time. I enjoyed it. It was something fun to do. We did it inside. It was stuff she already had because she does art and stuff like that anyway. So it's one of those things where you could easily have not necessarily a first date like that. Because like I said, you know, I'm expecting people to have a little bit of common sense when it comes to this stuff. If I'm mentioning going to their house and doing art and getting drinks and all that stuff, you know, have a little common sense. Don't do that on your first date.
Yeah.
But the lack of common sense is so scary. Like it sucks. We have to give these caveats sometimes because somebody's going to be like, "Oh yeah, they invited me to their apartment."
I think that for manner. I think common sense. I think.
Start over.
All right. I think the term common sense is overly used in a derogatory manner. When you talk about it, you're talking about people not understanding a concept that you seem to have an easy time understanding, when many people just understand things at different levels. You would think that logic would dictate such, but some people don't have the same logic lines as you.
Oh, for sure.
Just,
That's a very valid point. Good point.
I will stand up and not dehumanize anyone just because you haven't learned yet. That's okay. But once you've learned and you choose otherwise, that's when it's wrong. So
90s baby, that was like the first thing I was taught, stranger danger, right?
right.
I can understand that some people may not be raised like that.
So let's try to not use the term common sense in that fashion. You can talk about people that aren't aware of a fact, and that's okay because they're simply not aware.
But now, I do have to ask: would that not be considered common sense not to go to a stranger's house that you don't know, that you just met on the internet?
All right.
If you grew up in an environment where that was being taught, yes. If you didn't, no. And that assumption is what Day 6 is talking about.
Correct. You and I grew up, mister, for example, never being told not to talk to strangers, not to get into strangers' car, or not to talk to strangers on the internet, and not to get into strangers' car. Now we literally summon strangers on the internet to get in their car and go places. So what's common sense anymore? You tell me. That term needs to die in a car fire.
Okay, but
Really
like,
good point.
You got me there. Okay.
Common sense at this
Another
point needs to be
point.
things like. Sorry, good dream. Go ahead.
another point is, no offense, but no matter how well you think you know someone, 2 weeks in is still as dangerous as the first date. Like, keep that in mind. Keep protection in mind.
Yeah, and like even if you've been seeing someone for a while, do the reasonable things like have a friend who knows, hey, I'm going on a date with this person. This is where I'm going. This is when I should be back. If I'm not back by this time later, there's reason to be concerned.
Which is one of the beautiful things about polyamorous relationships.
Mhm. You always got someone who knows where you should be when you're going to be there. You're always talking to them, so they know if you go like silent for a couple days after a date, maybe sound the alarm.
Practice safe things
Dating.
in a general term of safe dating. Maybe not, like I said, not the common sense stuff, but in a general term of what safe should be. Now, not everything is safe. I know, the world's dangerous and people can be dangerous and you may not know someone, but overall, hi, Daddy Dre. But overall, I mean, I can't say, look, okay, let me back that up. You know what? A hypocrite. Let me be a hypocrite real quick. I met a girl on Tinder years ago. We texted a little bit. She was like, invite her to watch a movie at the house. Like, I didn't feel like going anywhere, and she was down for it. So I could have absolutely been crazy. Crazy as fuck, but not that kind of crazy.
And like that could have gone really poorly.
Right.
I'm glad it doesn't seem like it did, and I'm glad it didn't. But like,
it was not a good. It was a good time. It wasn't a good time.
if you're similarly to like if you're going somewhere with someone, if you're having someone over to your house, make sure someone knows, hey, this person is coming over at this time. You should hear back from me by like, let's say 6 o'clock tomorrow or 8 p.m. tomorrow night. And if you don't,
Right. We've got that buddy system with one of my best friends. We've got that buddy system. And she's going on like a crazy date. She texts me and like, hey, it's where we're going. And we talked about before on the safety months we had not too long ago, like I have the Life 360 thing. So if something happens, the buddy system is really important in dating, at least in the first few dates.
I'll say the first 10. Be vigilant.
But yeah. Goodwill bookstore dates are fun.
That being settled, double dates are a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are fun. So we've got a few more viewers. Hi, everybody. Do you guys have any date night ideas that you want to share with us?
So Craig has a question. It says, "Are we recommending dates for those that don't like being in public?" That's a good one. As somebody that loves being in public and loves being a little social butterfly, I'm gonna opt out of answering this one because I don't really have any off the top of my head. But my anti-socials, go for it.
given that there's still, a respiratory targeting pandemic going on and I have asthma, I actually have to be pretty careful when I go out. So a lot of the dates that I'll do are like Discord dates where we'll sit down and watch a movie or a show, or like a in-person date where they come to the house and watch something. And like those can be meaningful, and like if you are watching something you've both seen before, you can just have a good time. For example, something I watch somewhat frequently with people is The Princess Bride, and like every single person I've watched it with has watched it at least a dozen times. So like we know the story, we know the punchlines. Like we don't have to pay that much attention to enjoy The Princess Bride, and you can shoot the shit the entire time it's happening, and that can still be a really meaningful date. And if you're adults and everyone's consenting, have some drinks. If things go farther, cool. Use protection. Be safe about it. But that can all happen on a couch while you're watching a movie together, and it can be a great time.
I
the
like
pottery making.
building a pillow fort and pillow fights and lots of things with pillows and blankets and everything. Get cozy, have some hot chocolate, and just hang out.
I have to skip the hot chocolate, unfortunately. I usually do tea.
Well, then you get some other comforting drink. Also,
Usually
if
do
you
tea.
make a blanket fort and you have it like a solid color, bring in one of those star light projectors. They're amazing.
Absolutely. How do you guys feel about like comedy clubs, venues, poetry readings, open mics, stuff like that? Go ahead, Nathan.
I'm a huge fan of small public forums like that, whether it be poetry reading, spoken word, comedy, or even like a book reading for a local author. Those are all a great way to support your community, as well as taking your person out and spending quality time. When you go to a comedy club, for example, as long as the comedian is good, you don't have to be the one doing the entertaining. Somebody's doing it for you. You can both just laugh and enjoy. And if you have the opportunity to talk beforehand or afterwards and have that intimate time, great. But that time that you're there, you're still enjoying yourselves. At least, like I said, if the comedy's good. Or a poetry reading or a book reading. I'm a fan of poetry myself. I would love to take my lady to a poetry reading. She's not a fan of it, so we haven't. But that is a way to stir the emotions inside of someone and get their heart pumping a little bit, and might lead to deeper conversations of intimacy later, like how they are as a person. It's just an amazing experience. I 100% stamp of approval on things like that.
Yeah, and comedy clubs, you can learn a lot about somebody based on what they laugh at and what jokes they like.
That's a good point.
Like, there's a difference between Mr. and Alice humor.
Oh, absolutely.
Is that a compliment or an insult?
Yes.
It's just a saying.
Yes.
So Craig was asking. I don't think Craig's and their partner are new together. I feel like y'all been together for a while and you trust each other. So date night ideas for you. I don't know. I personally really like long car rides, and like that's one of my favorite dates. Long car rides to like nowhere or
Days you
somewhere.
wake up on the beach in Daytona and you see the sunset.
Yeah.
Long car rides to me, where we can go do fun things together.
So like
Sunrise.
Next long car ride then is to me, you bet.
That is a long car ride. Worth it. That is a
But
long.
see,
both
if you
delivery
make it,
drivers. Okay, get an Uber together.
No, have a DoorDash date night.
Yeah, so that's something we really enjoy doing together actually.
One person picks the orders you take. You just let it be up to them, and the other person does the thing and you switch it something.
It makes my life easier when we're doing that.
when we were in New York and we seen those bicycle carriages. Oh, that's nice, Ray. I like that.
Oh, thank you. I was just looking at how it looked on the thing. I wasn't trying to.
She's like, I don't need your approval. I'm trying to see how it looks.
No, but thank you. I just think I'm gonna shut up.
So we're trying to like brainstorm antisocial date night ideas, and I'm antisocial. I like hiking and stuff. But that's
Something I did a lot with my ex-wife as sort of an antisocial date was we had like a one-on-one Pathfinder game where they were running the game and I was the only player in the game, and we'd alternate who was in charge of the game and who was playing in between stories. And like that was a recurring thing that I did with my ex-wife as a date. Like we'd get wine, we'd pick up usually like the shitty gas station pizza because we both like shitty pizza,
Of course.
and like we'd get like decent wine, shitty gas station pizza, and just that was the date night. Was just them running a game or me running a game and them playing.
Absolutely. Facebook user, I'm assuming, is that Zoe? Because Zoe pops up as Facebook user for some reason. There is a app. I sent it to Matt. I don't know if Matt's still here or not. I sent it to Matt back a while. He uses it to use for D&D, but it's dungeon.ai, I believe. And it's an AI generated storyline, and you can, read the story, and then there's a place to, to give you an option to freely do whatever you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
The story continues, so one can read.
I've had fun with that one.
That's cool. I want to do that.
Yes, I'll have to send that to the chat here shortly.
Can we please get back to playing D&D? I want to finish our game.
Well, if Matt's still here.
Matt, come play with us again.
Oh, Becca! Becca, we've missed you too. We've been gone forever.
Hey.
I've seen, sadly, I hope that you've changed your mind, that you have a going out of business sale going. Like, your passies are cool as fuck. Like, why are you going out of business? Who am I fighting?
I agree.
You guys figure out
So
how to find this out.
let's see. A local farm or farmer's market. Ooh, I love that one. But really connecting with nature, with each other. That's my jam always. And that can be social and antisocial. It falls in all categories.
There are a few natural ways to connect with each other that are all antisocial.
Those are also my jam too.
Just be
You mean
in the
like
same
Fortnite?
room and be in each other's company and do two different things.
That's called parallel play.
If you're new and you don't really know each other, you could just do a little soaking.
Ew.
Make it a group date and get your friends to jump on the bed. I think I lost Alice on that one.
Alice had enough of that. They were like, deuces!
So I can see Alice. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come back up. I don't know if you dropped yourself intentionally. Okay. I was just making sure like it wasn't like an intentional drop and you needed to go for a second or what.
No, like I started laughing and the page crashed.
Ooh, skinny.
Can you switch me and Alice back? I liked where I was before.
I gotcha.
There we go.
It's it just worked. I just had to put it back up. Nice.
Unironically, if you have like a private-ish place to do it, skinny dipping is a good time. You also want to make sure that it's somewhere where the water is controlled. You don't like want to go jump in like the Ohio River naked or something.
Well, you don't want to do anything in the Ohio River, okay?
My story? I'm getting there. I'm getting done with the D&D kinky fucking fight with dildos shit.
Nice. Greg says they play D&D every Sunday.
Nice.
can I get shamed by everybody here? I have never played D&D.
That's
Get
not,
thee out of here, mister.
that's not shameful. That's just a tragedy.
Because
It
I,
is.
It
I absolutely
still blows
have
my
such
mind.
a
It
desire
still
to.
blows my mind.
Okay,
If
but
I
weren't
hear
you
you
there
are
when we were
there,
doing it with Jen and everyone?
I was at work.
Well, fuck you for being at work.
I
Yup.
gotta know. Trust me,
Right,
I wish
right,
I had
right.
bills. Speaking of work, I did leave my Papa John's job.
Nice.
Good.
And I'm back to serving, and oh my god.
I have a lot of Papa John shirts for sale, $5 plus shipping. If you're interested in some Papa John shirts, I've got about 20 of them.
I think my friend and boss is here somewhere. I think Shannon's watching. But absolutely, I really have never played it. I have such a desire to, and I feel like I could have so much fun with it, and probably be told that I can't do a lot of things.
That would be fun date night. That would be such fun date night, y'all.
So we should one day.
Board games, I highly recommend game night. We've got a tower of board games as tall as I am.
What you got, David?
I have a tower of board games again that tall, and highly recommend this as somebody who's ran a nonprofit based on gaming. There is a point of inhibition release when you are with someone and you give them free reign to do whatever. You can actually see how they would play in a scenario, whether they're acting as their character or themselves. You can see their choices, their conundrums, everything like that.
Kind of like earlier when I went for the money on my video game.
Yeah. Because, okay, ironically enough, there's a game we played, and there was a choice to help your friend and his family or go back for the money. Now, knowing me and knowing Jen, what do you think I would choose?
You're an asshole.
Mister, I kind of think you would choose to help the family and then try to extort them for it later.
What do you think this beautiful little princess would choose?
Well,
Help the
given the context of this conversation, probably to go take the money, given she just said that.
Absolutely.
In my defense, I wasn't listening very well, and you're distracting me.
I was laying there being.
And then after I hit the button, I was like, "That's what I really did." Well, fuck.
It plainly said this or that.
What was the game?
Red Dead.
Red Dead.
Red Dead. Okay.
So when I did my playthrough of it, I got to that part and I was like, no, of course I'm gonna help my fucking friend. He had my back this game.
I just heard go for the money, and I was like, "Well, we gotta go for the money."
Oh man, it's such a good time. I love it.
So back on topic, date ideas. Kind of in the direction of like making things together. You could do something like serialized mysteries, like Hunt a Killer. Like Lav and I have in our living room, we had a recurring night with a friend where we would solve murder mysteries. And like you subscribe, you pay a monthly fee or yearly fee to subscribe to it, and they send you a box every 4 weeks that has parts of the mystery. And like the board we have downstairs is all the evidence from 6 parts of one mystery.
Also, it is one mystery. I've always wondered if they sent you like a new one every month to figure out or how that worked.
So they have like the subscription is for their episodic mysteries, and their episodic mysteries always have 6 episodes.
That's cool.
So like if you do like just the usual monthly subscription, they'll send you a box once a month that's got the next episode in your current mystery, and then when you finish that, they'll roll you on to the next mystery. They also give you the option to accelerate. Like if you have the yearly subscription, you can, when you finish one, you'll get like a code at the end of that episode that you put in to let them know that you finished it. And then you can go, hey, just go ahead and send me my next box right now.
That's cool. I like that.
And like it's a lot of fun. And then we have a murder mystery that happened at an old timey New York theater, and like all of the evidence from that, like the pamphlets, notes from the characters in it, like the police report and shit, are all like pinned up on the board, and that's one of our living room decorations.
Now,
Hell
in
yeah.
like 10 years, it's going to come out that you've actually been helping someone get away with a crime.
I'm trans. I'm actively committing crimes every day.
Fair enough.
Facts.
And,
I like those games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Go ahead. That is cool. We have that. I think
Yeah.
we got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got that for our friends. Let's get deep. So like it's for couples to ask each other, to
It's a
other couples.
great date gift too. Like it's like $15 or $20, Walmart, Target. Grab you a set of those cards to take on a date with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody
Just-
ever wants to get their ass whooped in Risk, let me know.
A challenge accepted. I have yet to lose a game of Risk.
Oh, right.
Oh.
I've yet to
All right, we'll play Risk, but we're playing Risk 2010.
Have I ever lost?
No,
Well,
we're
see,
playing
like, I
classic
like
Risk.
my Game of Thrones Risk.
I'll play Game of Thrones Risk.
I love
Rogues.
it. So this one here is a fucking master at Risk without even like intentionally doing it. No, you've not. Well, you've lost to me, but that don't count.
Cards Against Humanity. Now that's another icebreaker that's worthwhile. If you're in a big group setting, like you're doing a triple date or a quadruple date, where there's like 4 couples or 4 friends, 4 sets of friends hanging out, then Cards Against Humanity, any of its subtype, is a great way to have a bunch of laughs and let the inhibitions out.
Something that's real fun to do, like if you're drinking with a couple of people, is Cards Against Humanity, but instead of using like the white cards to answer the prompts, you just freeform answer verbally.
That's fun.
That could be fun.
There need to be some kind of substances involved, or it's going to get real frustrating real fast.
Yeah.
But if there are substances, everyone's going to have pretty much a good time.
Of course. I've learned the one thing, if anybody's watching that doesn't know how to really play Cards Against Humanity very well, because there is a strategy if you really look at it. Just know your reader. That's it. Just know who your reader is. If I ever get a card that says the little teacup pig and booties and she's reading it, it doesn't matter what the fucking answer is. I'm giving that card, I'm going to win.
But then again, I'll go back and fucking read it contextually and be like, the way this is fucking phrased doesn't make sense. It can't work. I get it. Yeah. Anyway.
So hey, Day6, you mentioned volunteering together earlier. What are some good concepts for people to volunteer with? I know sometimes you have to apply for it and stuff like that, but
Sure. And those are for your like bigger nonprofits, because what they're doing is keeping track of their labor hours, because that's what matters when it comes to their taxes. But like if you're involved with one of those organized religions, sorry I even said it, but that's a great place to start. Even one that you can support from a distance. You can go in and just find out if they have a soup kitchen, if they have a clothing bank where you just go in and sort clothes and wash clothes. Check with your local food banks. This is not usually organized by a religion. Check with your local food banks. They will always need people to move product around, organize product, bag product, stuff like that. I live in an area where homelessness is a huge issue. So there are 16 different missions around here that you can go and volunteer at soup kitchens, or help with like just working lines for medical screening and stuff like that. You can go to a blood bank and volunteer there just to help hand out cookies and coffee. And that's just, sitting around for a couple hours handing out cookies and coffee with your date, just to see how much they're willing to give back to the community, to me is a good measure of how good the person can be. Feel free,
Yeah.
Alice.
I want to challenge that real quick, because it sounds a lot like means testing your date. Like if you want to go out there and do good things to do good things together, cool, awesome. World needs more of that. But like going out there to see how good your date can be doesn't feel good.
I validate that, and I apologize. Let me rephrase, please. So, personally, I've always, hence why I ran a nonprofit, want to give back to my community. That's just who I am. So when I'm looking for a partner, I want someone who is willing to put up with me donating my time. And if they're willing to give up some of their time, that's a good green flag for me.
it's almost more like an added bonus that you get to see how much they
Mhm.
Not necessarily like you're qualifying them. It's just an extra layer of the goodness you see.
Indeed, because to me, a good person would scoff, or not a person that is not good would scoff at the idea of doing something like that. And if their immediate reaction would be one of disdain, this is not going to be a person for me.
Right.
And like
Yes.
with any other date, you can like watch out for red flags. Like if you're at a soup kitchen and they're talking shit about homeless people, that's probably not a great thing.
Unless they're
And
using
like,
that shit talking to connect with the homeless guy that's talking shit about the homeless people. I
mm,
mean, you know, it's all context. If this guy's like,
I
fuck Craig, because Craig stole my shoes from me last week, then well, fuck Craig, he's a piece of shit.
I think Dream's been waiting to say something.
Go ahead, Dream.
I just want to mention that something cool here in Jersey is, you guys know like Bon Jovi, right? He has a soup kitchen in Red Bank, New Jersey,
Mhm.
and I think that's like the coolest shit because you can go in there, like have a meal, you can go back and cook for a meal. They give away free meals to like food banks and stuff, but you can get a
Mhm.
free meal there too, and it's so cool.
Hell yeah.
And I realized, like, on this news platform, it doesn't shift you guys up when I put a comment. Sorry, I didn't mean to try to cover you up there, Dream. So, regardless of where you're going, what you're doing on a date, you have to make sure that you're a match. Not everyone's going to be a match for you. Absolutely. And I do feel like, in a way, you can use dates as a qualifier. Not necessarily for, like, morality reasons. I know that seemed to be the issue a second ago, but if I am super passionate about art, and you're like, nah, fuck that, I don't really want to go to an art show, then we're not a good match already. You may be able to attend it later and be like, yeah, you know, you like it, I'll go for you. But initially, if that's my passion and you really wanted to get to know me as a person, you would kind of put yourself in there with me anyway.
So I would just like to mention that weird area that seems to have vanished completely from our society, where the word date used to mean going out with a lot of people and seeing who you're compatible with. Now it's just jumping into a relationship with anybody on the table, and I would like to not have that concept out there.
I want to challenge that.
Go ahead.
The tism a little bit. A lot of people like myself will be like, this is a person I'm interested in. Let me get to know them as a friend first. And like start talking and then ask about dating. And there's already that baseline compatibility established.
Yeah, but that's different. That's not what society is saying today. Like, yes, it's okay to be friends and yes, it's okay to date, but that's not what's going on here.
Well, you have serial monogamists anyway, and they just haven't figured out they're non-monogamous. They just keep jumping from one relationship to the other.
Mhm.
But look at like so solo polyamorous. That's kind of the concept of what they would do anyways. If we get to know somebody, go on a date, go on another date, you know, and jump into that whole free flow. And even relationship anarchy, what we touched on a couple weeks ago. I mean, that's more of the communication and understanding between each other what your expectations are.
Mhm.
You know what? I just realized, my bad. I was like, why did I say the name Craig for that scenario? And then I remembered seeing Craig's name at the top a second ago. You didn't do anything, Craig. You're not a piece of shit. You did not steal that homeless man's shoes. How about go-karts and arcades?
That sounds like fun. I have a lot of quarters.
There's an arcade here locally that I've gone on a few dates to, where like you pay a cover fee for the night and you can just like the machines don't have coin costs.
Yep.
And those are so much fun.
We have that here, and we also have an arcade bar where you can drink and play video games. So I don't recommend it at ours because obviously drinking around video games leads to sticky butts.
So I had an idea earlier when we were talking about like our good deed dates. So right now it's springtime, and I've noticed a lot of community gardens have popped up in the last few years. And like, go to the fucking nursery or Home Depot or Lowe's and get some plants and go plant them in the community garden together and meet back there every fucking week. Be a date night for several nights. Sit on the bench and watch your flowers grow and squash grow.
What you got, Alice?
Similarly to that idea, if you or your partner like have property that you can plant on, and like you're into gardening, you could plant a pollinator habitat together.
Unless you're allergic to bees and you don't want the bees around.
Well,
Well,
then
obviously.
Butterflies.
Obviously, you
then-
plant things that don't attract bees but attract other pollinators. You could do
Or-
like a moon garden.
or there is a thing that you can plant a garden that attracts bees, but like over here on this corner of the property, so all the bees go there instead of over here.
That knocks out 2 birds with 1 stone. You keep the bees away from you, and they're happy over there.
Yeah.
See, we're over here talking about birds and bees. It's normal.
Oh, a fairy and gnome garden.
A gnome garden?
Yes.
Sorry.
What's a gnome garden?
There's this wonderful thing called Google them. Their gnome gardens are amazing if you're into the gardening thing.
I
Go
saw the fairy
watch-
before it, and that's what I know them as fairy gardens. I thought maybe it was something different.
Go watch the movie Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my god.
I'm good on that
I've
one.
actually watched that.
I'm good on
Don't
that one.
ask me
Is it Romeo and Juliet with gnomes?
how I've watched
Kind
that
of.
one, and I've
Kind
never
of.
watched
Not
it.
not really, but kind of.
So I am not a fan of this category we're coming up to, and that's just because I'm a lazy asshole sometimes.
Listen,
Active dates.
you can be encouraged.
Yeah, I can be. What you
Right.
got? Alex?
Pokemon
Anything I
Go.
can't keep up?
So there are a couple of like categories of active dates that I'll go on. One of which being like I go with people while they're doing Pokemon Go, while they're chasing down Pokemon, hitting stops and gyms and whatnot. The other that we'll do, like I mentioned, that I hike with Lav. Not regularly because we're both kind of out of shape, but like semi often. And like we'll go out on we'll like plan for a weekend and we'll go out on like Sunday morning and we'll spend the whole morning and into the afternoon hiking, and then we'll like make a date of getting some decent food after instead of just getting junk food, and going home and like giving each other massages or having a shower together to help recover from that. So like the active dates aren't just like necessarily going to the gym, but the time after and the time before too,
And the aftercare.
and the
Um,
aftercare.
You know
Like
what, though?
going
ahead.
swimming is an active date. And just because something is in the active category, like you can do active things in adaptive ways. Like if I were to go on a date swimming with somebody, it would be more floating around and bullshitting than actual like swimming laps.
Walk your dogs together.
Laser tag.
Laser tag.
Laser
So-
tag you probably want to have more than just 2 people for, but make it like a double or a triple date, and that'd be
I
a
will
fucking
smoke some
blast.
8-year-olds.
Yeah, they let you kill the kids.
So can I tell a story about that real quick?
Yeah.
So when I was like, I don't know, 15 or so maybe, me and my little sister went on a double date with the rest of our siblings who weren't dating anyone. And all of the other people got put on a team because they were all the older kids. And I swear to God, I got stuck on a team with like 5 to 8-year-olds. And I showed these kids how to win laser tag. I was putting them up on boxes and shit. And we won. And those kids were like, oh my God. And the other people were like, you're a psychopath. How did you teach kids to do this? And now those kids are really good at laser tag to this day.
So the closest laser tag place we have is like 30 minutes away. Everything is like 30 minutes away here.
Yeah.
But they have the setup
Not bad.
there is you can run out of ammo. Like you have to run back to base to reload. So
Mhm.
like you can't just go out running and gunning and just trying to dominate the whole fucking time because you will run out of ammo and you will be fucked.
Paintball.
Becca's got a good idea. Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, Becca's idea is better than mine. I mean, that'll lead to more fun, I promise. But I am an active disc golf player. I've been playing for 17 years. Not to make me feel old or anything, but shush your mouth, mister. So, actually, the first date my lady and I went on was disc golfing, and we still play as often as we can. Yeah, I agree with you there, Craig. It's not fair. You and I could take on the rest of the group here when it comes to laser tag and what's up.
No. See, now I've got to.
Becca, that's different, Treehole.
I've got to smoke your ass in laser tag.
Yeah.
Negative. Go for it. It's not full.
I am small. I can fit into unconventional spaces.
That just makes you an easier target.
No, it doesn't. I once lodged myself in a doorway on top of.
But I like what Skylar said. Exercise releases hormones in your brain, your happy hormones in your brain. You're more likely to feel love and fall in love whenever you have those hormones going. True.
Indeed.
It also gives them an idea of how quickly I get out of breath. So,
So I want to go on a zip line
Yes.
Do you really?
through the woods. Yes, I do. Yes, I will be scared shitless the whole time. Will you go with me and hold me?
Absolutely. She's gonna be
I
eyes
will.
closed the whole time. Be like, "I was so much fun."
I like those little roller coasters that you can control yourself. Those are the best.
I want to go on one of those giant hamster wheels with someone.
Yes, the air things. Yes.
Yeah,
they're filled with,
Hamster balls.
So we went on vacation with my best friend a couple years ago, and in not Nashville, but in Gatlinburg, they have the mountain rail coasters. Like it's all manually done. You have manual brakes and stuff like that. That shit was a blast. Trampoline park. Do you guys have like a
Trampoline.
Velocity or anything like that around?
Rock
We have a
climbing
sky high.
wall.
We got Sky Zone in Martinsburg, I think, is the closest one, but it's like an indoor gym that's just full of like 2/3 of it's all trampoline floors, and then there's foam pits that you can jump into from the trampolines.
I do have to put a warning with the trampoline parks. If you hit your leg or you get caught in those metal bits, you are not having a good time.
So in the trampoline parks, that shit's covered. Like 99% of it, unless it's a shabby little trampoline park.
Well, I must have had a bad time in general then.
Skylar, you'd be so much fun to take to a trampoline park, I promise.
That's like the perfect place to take to a trampoline park.
Yep, I've done too, and that shit was a blast because I'd fall and bounce.
I am with Skylar on that one. Trampoline parks, hard no for this lady. It's really hard to have fun at a trampoline park with a cane or walker, just saying.
That's fair.
But I have fun watching. I mean, there's that.
I've had surgery on both of my ears to restore hearing, so like my balance and my like sense of balance is fucked up. So anytime I'm on a surface that isn't solid, like I'll start getting like a head rush and dizzy just standing there, and then if I start moving or things start bouncing, that's gonna be a time. But it's a good time.
What if you took trampoline shoes and you went to the trampoline park? You know, like those giant, like clunky trampoline shoes.
Physics would not work.
You would probably break things.
Yeah.
Inside your body.
So we're not taking any of you guys roller skating or rollerblading, are we?
I will rollerblade with y'all all day. That's another thing that I can do. I can go grab my skates right now. Ray has seen me do it.
I was pretty good at that as a kid.
Oh no.
That one I could modify that one. I could just put my walker handles up higher and I could skate.
Yeah.
Yeah, just hold the front up. That way you still got extra wheels. Like it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
wheel.
We'll just get you a shopping cart and place with a walker. It's fine.
Oh my god, the shopping cart thing. I swear there was this big hill near my house and there was a cliff that hang off it. And so you had to steer the shopping cart as fast as possible or you were going straight into the ocean.
oh god. If you are like fitness enthusiast, we won't say nuts. People get offended by that. You know what? If you're like a fitness nut and like that's your life is
Mr.
Lifestyle,
cardio,
that is a
you know,
lifestyle.
like if you're heavily into what's the other one, CrossFit, like those kind of things, Spartan races. If you and your partner are that, if you guys are that enthusiastic about fitness,
Yeah, I'm
and
not very
endurance and
fitnessy.
stuff
I don't
like
even know what the fuck that is.
the Spartan races are like supposed to be the ultimate test of endurance. I mean, you've got obstacles, you're running, you've got, I don't even know how long they are. They're ridiculous length, but they're usually nasty, muddy, wet. But it's a good time, and even people that I know that aren't really into fitness stuff will do a Spartan race. And Skylar says color runs. I've seen those. Go ahead, Alex.
Two things. One, say like Fitness Fanatic or something.
See, told you somebody would get offended by it.
Calling someone blank nut is kind of ableist, and you're not that kind of asshole.
I think they call themselves that though, don't they?
Yeah, they call themselves fitness nuts.
Mm,
And like the gun nuts.
I
they call
mean,
themselves
yeah,
that.
they do.
that doesn't make it not shitty when they do it.
I advocate for the term fitness fanatics as when I rollerbladed for a team semi-pro, it was for a gym called Fitness Fanatic. So please.
Yeah, you can't really just say it when people have been saying that for like 82 years or something. Like, that's what they call themselves. That's their brand.
So, what color runs? Have you guys ever seen color runs?
Yes.
Those look like a lot of fun. Oh, you had a second thing too, Alice. Sorry. Go ahead.
I did. Also, around like Halloween time, there are places around the country that'll do like zombie runs,
Yes.
which look like so much fun.
We do that every year. We used to have the world record zombie run, and now we're battling with fucking Wisconsin for it. God.
To be fair, Wisconsin probably has real zombies.
Oh my god.
No, they're just drunk.
Okay, speaking of zombie walk, I had a great date idea that I kind of did once, and I still have videos from it. It wasn't like a date, but it was really fun. So we actually missed the zombie walk on the day it was. So we showed up and there was no zombies there. So we decided to go to our local mall and scare the fuck out of everyone there. And, do some crazy shit that you wouldn't believe, like smack the ass on the Victoria's Secret mannequins and shit. But we scared the Boy Scouts so bad, and that was terrible, and I felt so bad about that. Like, we went to go get, like, KFC and all this other great shit. So it was fun.
But no, like I said, I've never done like 5Ks, mud runs, color runs, stuff like that. I've seen pictures, and I don't know if the pictures are just over exaggerated, but people look like they were just covered in paint, and it's just
It looks like fun.
It looks like a hell of a mess to clean up too.
Yeah.
What's up, Daisy?
My lady's done both color runs and mud runs. They look like a blast. She wants to do them again, but I don't run unless it's cops or from zombies, and so
Double date night. Dream dresses as a zombie and chases you on a mud.
But what if I want Dream to catch me and bite me?
You gotta wait till they get to the end of the finish line.
Damn it!
Ooh, scavenger hunts.
Yeah.
Real quick, we had the comment about haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
There's one that Lav and I have gone to several times. It's called the Factory of Terror. It's in Canton, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun. It's like 4 different haunted attractions, and in the middle there's a bar, and at the end there's like a gift shop and another bar with an axe throwing range on it, and it's just it's so much put together into one big building, but it's so much fun. And like,
So it's like a mega date night area.
That sounds
Yeah.
dangerous, though. Drunk axe throwing?
That's the only way to axe throw.
Exactly.
First thing you do when you go to an axe throwing place is get you a big mug of beer.
Ganja.
But yeah, haunted houses are a lot of fun. And myself, like I don't get scared at them, but I love to watch the reactions of the people I'm with.
What was
Like
it?
that's the entertainment for me.
I personally love the really campy ones. Like, if you've watched a decent amount of horror movies, you can be like, that's a reference to this movie, and that's a reference to that movie.
Right.
We even have a story about Lav in one of these, because Lav hadn't watched a whole lot of horror movies, and I didn't realize that the first time we went to a haunted house. So like at the end of the haunted house, there's like this big long, like it's 40-foot hallway that's 10 foot wide, and at the end of it, you got Michael Myers staring you down and just doing the slow walk toward you with the knife in hand.
Nice.
And
Oh my god. That
It was-
fucking in New York, Michael Myers driving next to the car. I freaked out.
So yeah, we're riding down the road, right? I'm swerving
Oh,
past the
no.
potholes and all the fucking
We really
the manholes and stuff like that. And Dream freaks
He
the fuck out. I thought
swerved
it was
and I
gonna
almost
die.
hit Michael Myers.
I had to get really close to him because I was about to hit a manhole and it would blow my tires out. So I got like this far from them. Dream looks over and there's a Michael Myers mask in the window. Lost her shit.
Sorry we interrupted.
Oh, so sorry.
That's all right. Lav didn't know they're slasher killers at this point, so we've got like this big. It's a big empty hallway. It's just me and Lav at one end, and Michael Myers walking like again 40 feet down the hallway, and Lav just goes, "Look, it's Jason!" And the haunt actor who was walking toward us just stopped and shook
Stop.
his
Zed.
head and just pointed at the exit.
Get the fuck out.
Don't those two hate each other or something? Wait, no, that's
Oh
Jason.
yeah.
That-
Yeah. All three of them hate each other. It's fine. It's fine.
I'm still waiting for a sequel to that. Jason versus Freddy. Or Freddy versus Jason.
Worst
Hay
ever.
rides
Zed.
are another thing during that season that are really fun. Haunted hay rides, regular hay rides.
Corn mazes.
Ooh.
Fall is a
The corn
really-
mazes are a problem if you're allergic to corn.
This is true.
Alice
Anywhere
just has all
where-
these ways to object to dates.
Only the dates that are going to kill me, okay?
So
I
does
feel
that
that-
apply to cornhole?
No. There's probably not any corn actually involved in cornhole, at least hopefully.
Have you? Al,
Aren't they filled with corn?
They're supposed
Yeah.
to be
Usually they're filled with pinto beans.
well,
close enough.
It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a really good corn maze in mine and Becca's area. So 10 out of 10 recommend those for a quirky date night. Of course, moving through the seasons, when you get into winter, it gets harder to get outside and get out in public. But there are sleigh rides around the Christmas time. There's, always a chance to just curl up by a fire with some hot cocoa or hot tea. And when it comes into spring, there are another thing that popped into mind because we have them here. We have really great parks with like flower gardens. We have a Japanese flower garden in our area. We have a lot of lilacs here that are in bloom right now. So we have a huge lilac garden area. We have a rose garden area that blooms in June. That's just phenomenal. So you can get out there and just simply go for a walk with your potential significant other or even your significant other and take them out, show them something they've never seen. And the whole idea is, how do you get out there and break the ice? Am I right?
Right.
An
But
ice
not
pick.
literally. But not literally in winter. You don't want to break through the ice. That's not a good date idea. Well, I mean,
This is true.
In Jersey, it's actually a great date idea. We have this wonderful thing called polar plunge over here.
Or ice fishing.
Ice fishing.
okay, fine.
There's also
You can bring kids.
if it's wintertime and you're somewhere where you get snow, you have like the options of like just building like snowmen together or making a little fort out of snow.
Christmas lights. Let's go look at Christmas lights.
The best part of living in the South is I don't have to wait till Christmas to see Christmas lights.
Right.
I can ride by and they have their Christmas lights.
Excuse me. Let's go look at rich people Christmas lights.
I'm not in the South. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and I can still go down the street right now and show you some Christmas lights that are still hanging and still on.
I want to go see the whole
It's
the ones that are wired up to music and like lit across their yard and do like a little light show. The ones you see on YouTube around the holidays.
What's really cool, so there's two small towns near us that are really phenomenal during Christmas.
Oh yeah.
One near us is Kings Mountain, and they have their little storefronts on one side of the road are synced up. The theater department took it over of the high school, and now that's part of their projects every year. And they sync it up with new music, and they have all kind of cool stuff there. But like 30 minutes down the road, there's a place called McAdenville. McAdenville is called Christmastown, USA. When I was a kid, it was way cooler. Now it's just all the lights have houses and stuff like that.
Houses and lights.
Yeah, all the lights have houses there.
Nice spooner, bro.
So you're required to.
All the lights have houses there.
Yeah.
It used to be a requirement of the town that when you moved in that you were going to participate. Like that was like, you buy a house here, you got to put lights up. Like it's like a town ordinance almost. Now it's not. Now it kind of sucks because like some people don't do it, and it just kind of takes the magic out of it. But
What
it's a
kind of
fun
Hallmark movie are you living in?
it's McAdenville. It's McAdenville, North Carolina.
It is a Hallmark movie. Yes.
You can walk down the main street, and the main street has these cute little shops that are all decorated and everything. Like it could be a Hallmark movie.
Sorry, I had something stuck.
Take some pictures together.
All right, day 6, shush.
Listen to the choir. Sometimes the choir's out there singing.
Yeah, they do have a choir that sings. And it being North Carolina, it's not always freezing cold here in December. So you can have a nice stroll through the town. Community theater, Becca says community theater is nice. You can go check out some smaller productions. That's always a good thing.
Support your local shit.
But
man.
you said something about scavenger hunts earlier. Did you guys probably almost 10 years ago maybe get into geocaching at all?
Geocaching's fun.
That's what I
know,
wanted to say before.
Really fun.
On the community theater thing, real quick, I just want to add in, you probably want to see if you can maybe like vet the kind of shows your local theaters do. Like one of our local theaters still does vaudeville shows.
What's that?
Old-timey racist theater shows.
Whoa.
Now,
Ooh.
at the expense of being
for the
crap,
blessed
I feel like that would be something to experience at least once.
Yeah.
Not because you want to see racist theater, but because if it's a representation of we'll say,
What not to do?
yeah, there you go.
Like,
Pre-civilization.
it's interesting as like a time capsule of what
Yeah,
theater
that's
was
what
like
I mean.
in the 50s
Like,
and
every
60s.
night show, you know.
But
If
like,
you want to go watch people do blackface and tap dance every night, you might have bigger problems in your life.
but like, you want to make sure if you're going to like a community theater, you know that they're not doing those shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I prefer the burlesque.
Going on.
Burlesque shows.
Oh.
Burlesque.
So if you guys ever get a chance and you go to New York City, make sure you at least stay till Tuesday night. And you're going to go into, I think it's in the Bronx. It's pink metal. And oh my goodness, like every night they have a cool ass theme. Some nights they do like drag shows. One night they have erotic art one night, but Tuesday nights are like a requirement when we go to New York. It's full burlesque show, and it's so wonderful. And it's free to get in. Like all you gotta do is make sure you tip your dents as well.
You can find these events on Facebook and Google.
It's in
There-
Brooklyn.
I
Bushwick
want,
Avenue, Brooklyn, New York.
good to know. I do want to mention that there's a burlesque in Ohio that's a lot of fun. They're called the Sex Kitten Burlesque, and Lav and a friend and I all went out to see it, and Lav got hit on by a very sexy Velma
Nice.
for most of the night. But like they've got some queer people. They have actually trans performers in it. They're just phenomenal.
I love sexy Velma.
Hmm.
So, kind of related, but not really. Another date idea, only for people that are super comfortable, and I would not recommend it as a first date, but you do you, boo boo. Nudist resorts have a lot of events at them too. Like you can go for a couple hours for whatever at the resort, or you can just
Show me
go
the
hang out.
goods. Sorry.
I don't know.
That
I would be
actually is. That would be a lot of fun. I know there's one in on the way to Miami. We passed by it, was going to go by it. We never went back up. We had too much shit going on.
Are we
There's
just
also-
to gloss over that Ray said go to a nudist colony and hang out?
Why is that a problem, Day6?
That's what you do in nudist colonies.
Because not every person can hang. Boom.
Something.
Okay,
that-
every person has at least one thing on their body that hangs.
So and also in the North Davison area of Charlotte, which is like it's like what you would call a hipster part of town, like when you think of hipster culture and all that stuff, the dive bars.
They call it
and all that stuff.
Noda.
It's called Noda. Okay, you can say it right. It's not North Davison. It's Noda.
It's Noda.
But they have an exclusive gay go-go bar there, and that would probably be a lot of fun to have one night.
The point with all these local events is we found them searching for them. They didn't just magically appear.
Yeah, I had to look up certain, like I was looking up kink events, BDSM events, stuff like that, and some of these popped up with that. And I'm like, well, that's not really a kink or BDSM, but it wraps in the realm of alternative lifestyle things. So good for them to show that. I don't know, like how to take that, because being gay isn't a kink. It's definitely not BDSM.
Mhm.
But hey, exposure's exposure, right? Especially if you get to the nude resort.
The reason being why they come up in searches like that, it's more the open-mindedness of the community that would be searching for those things.
Yeah.
The kink community is a little bit more open-minded in general than the vanilla community.
Okay, I could see that grouping then. I saw one a second ago. Was it the Iron Chef? Was it the Iron Chef cooking show that they gave them a special ingredient they had to use?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love the Iron Chef cooking show, but only the one at like the way beginning.
That would be fun. Go to a grocery store together, pick out one specific ingredient, and be like, "Here, you got to make dinner tonight with this," and then the other person's like, "Here, you got to make dessert."
Me and my ex used to do Cutthroat Kitchen, where we would sabotage our cooking on purpose, like steal someone's knives and make them cut with a spoon or some shit.
I will end you. I will destroy you. You can cook with me, but if you sabotage me, you have cut me to the quick. It is game on like Donkey Kong.
Well,
If
yeah,
I'm
that's
cooking-
the point. It's a game.
If I'm cooking and you start intentionally sabotaging me, you are the next thing going in the pan.
Fucking facts, Alex. Well put.
Will you call me when you do that? I've always been interested in tasting.
Yeah. If
Good
someone,
trail off there.
if there's an opportunity, yes.
Look. We're not on taboo night yet, but when we get there, this is a topic we've already gone over once, so let's do it again.
Eating isn't necessarily taboo.
No.
Back to topic. Our last little note segment for tonight was indoor.
Ray's getting that puppy prance. Hold on. I love when Ray does
What?
that. Like, that's something. It's like a puppy prance. It's the best way I can put it. It's like you're so excited. You're just like prancing around and tippy taps.
That's my
I was
hap tap.
I was gonna comment on the comment because before we went to the next category, because it's a good segue.
Yeah.
They mentioned FetCon, so any and all conventions are good ideas. Like it helps figure out what you're into, what you're interested in, what you might have in common, or
Yeah.
Good times.
Actually, I think that's beautiful. I mean, and it's one of those things where I feel like so can we discuss as far as dating goes? Going Dutch is the new norm, right?
Define going Dutch.
So going Dutch is I'm
Paying for
paying for my
yourself
date, you're paying
on
for
dates instead of paying for everybody.
That depends on the person. Like I'm
Yeah.
personally a fan of paying for myself and my date, but I'm comfortably salaried and make more than most of the people I'm dating. So
Right.
like it's a financial thing because I have more money than they do. If we were on like equal like financial footing, maybe.
Right.
see,
I mean, if it's like go ahead, Ray.
I have a personal rule, at least with first and second dates. Third dates, it's already established at that point, more of who's going to pay for what type of thing. But like, I won't go on a first or second date unless I have the means to pay for myself. Just in case it goes sideways, I can always pull whatever aside or go up to the register, whatever, and pay for myself a dip.
I like that. Like Jim was signing over here, communicate. Say, hey, look, we're going on a date. The budget for me tonight is this. So anything over this is up to you.
But is it fair to say if you haven't communicated and someone says, hey, let's meet for dinner, that you're going to pay for yourself?
See, I think if you invite someone to dinner, you've offered to pay.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at because like I'll invite someone like, hey, let's go get something to eat, and like if it's someone I'm romantically interested in, like, hey, let me go take you to get something to eat, and like I'm not asking if they have the money to do that. I'm saying I want to spend time with them, and I don't typically offer that if I can't afford to pay for them.
Absolutely.
That's a thing. Like, okay, if you plan on going on a date together and you're both like, okay, let's go out on a date, then like you can pay for people separately. But if somebody's like, hey, let me take you out to dinner, then I expect them to pay slightly more than if, we were
So
just
you guys
agreeing.
really dissect one's wording.
Sometimes.
Yes, it's the tism.
but same for me though. Like if you say I want to, let me take you out to dinner. Go ahead, Daisy. I see you there. Go ahead. I got my thought.
Okay, so the reason that the wording matters is because we have a dictionary for a reason. Words have meaning. So if it's, hey, I want to go to a movie. Do you want to go to a movie with me? That's more of a, hey, do you want to go see this? Are you willing to cover your own? But if I say, hey, I want to take you to a movie, that's me offering to cover for you. And hey, we're going to go watch this movie if you're down. Because words have meaning. If I do you want to go to it, that's not me taking you. That there is that slight difference. Am I wrong, Alice?
Not at all.
That sounds like a friend versus dating almost.
Right.
In both cases, if like you're planning like offering to pay for it, it also helps to just outright say that, like, hey, let me take you to dinner, I'll buy. Or hey, I want to go see a movie with you, I'll pay for it.
Look, if somebody says I'm gonna buy something for you, no offense, but I'm gonna fight that with my life. Okay?
I've noticed.
not
see, so
you.
that's the thing, though. So at that point, they can communicate back. No, thank you. I'll cover my own.
Yeah, and that's perfectly fine. That's communication and boundaries.
But nobody should do the thing where if somebody says I'm going to pay for my own and you let them pay for their own, they can't get pissed about it later.
Mm-hmm.
Like on the date you made me pay. So I can offer. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, the key point that, of course, we always go back to is communication. So when you go set that up, it may be a hard conversation, but it's one worth having. Because how can you go on a date if nobody's got the means to do so? Like, if each of you are expecting to pay for the other, then you're really screwed, right?
I'm a really cheap date.
Well, I mean, depending on your level of morals, dine and dash is always a fun first date.
We talked about that.
Don't do that.
I mean, don't do it. I'm just saying,
We're not advocating for dine and dash.
But if you do, most restaurants will just comp that shit off anyway because it's not really that much. But that's just not personal experience from knowing being in restaurants. But.
I mean, that's just kind of shitty to do to the person who like waited on you while you were there.
Small mom and pops will chase your ass.
She's got the important part of that caveat: corporate only.
Well, it's like shoplifting. Don't shoplift, but if you're gonna target corporations, you don't shoplift from small businesses.
If I was going to leave a date for some stupid reason, I would at least walk up to the waiter and be like, "Hey, I have to go ask the waiter for something first," and slipped him like a 20 to take care of everything.
That's not the point of dine and dash, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Unless you just want to look like a badass, go pay the waiter your bill when you go to the bathroom. Like, hey, let's dine and dash.
That's legit. As long as you pay first and then try to do that, I'm all for it.
That's a really good point. You can
pay
also
first.
ask for virgin drinks.
You tip your waiter so that they, when you don't show up and they have to deal with your date, you give them a little more because that's going to be a pain in the ass.
Or if you get a cool server, no, I'm just kidding. I would never do this. Let me caveat that. It must be something stupid. I really would never do this.
Lies.
Go up to your server and be like, look, here's like $50. I was going to pay for dinner, but we're going to dine and dash, okay? And they might be cool with it. So, extra $50 for them. But no, don't do shit like that. Like, really. I had to throw my chaotic moment in for the night. We're good.
Since we're talking about like dates at restaurants and leaving and dining and dashing and shit, if you go and you're like, hey, we're gonna go Dutch and the date's going shitty, just walk out. And like if the person's like being verbally abusive or just in general being a piece of shit, don't be like, oh, I gotta pay for this. I'm gonna stick around and deal with him while I wait for it or her or them. Just be like, I'm gonna go, and you can just leave them with the check.
Can I also add that it'd be great to tell them, look, you're an asshole, I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in check. Let them understand why. And you're not just like...
Communicate.
Yeah,
communicate. Again, important caveat, don't do that if you think this person might actually be like physically harmful to you.
Right.
But like if it's just they're like being a piece of shit or they're saying some real uncomfortable things and you're wanting to exit the date, don't delay that because of like, oh, I don't want to leave them with the check. Fuck it. If they're an asshole, make them pay the check.
Right, it's an asshole tax.
Yeah. The other thing too, in a situation like that, the vast majority of servers, restaurants, whatever, would be okay with you. Hey, I have to go to the bathroom, and then you pull someone aside and tell them, like, I don't want to wait. I need to leave. Here's my portion. Deuces.
Yeah.
Everything is okay with that.
There have been a couple of times where I was the person leaving like that, and like I literally just went up to the bartender and was like, "Hey, I don't know how much I owe you at the moment, but here's like $30. I'm heading out. Keep the change as a tip," and then just walked out.
Keep a running count in your mind about how much you're gonna buy. If you drink 4 drinks and they're roughly $10 each, give them $50.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. At least.
I don't drink anything that's $10 a piece. It's normally a Diet Coke and Wild whiskey.
There you go. See. like
In most places,
$4.
in most places that's $4 or $5.
So I've got one on here. So the last text banner, I can pull it up if you guys want, but it's about indoor dating and staying at home, those kind of things. We've kind of been all over the place for sure, but the one thing I have on here that popped up a memory for me was cocktail mixing.
Mhm.
I think we've talked about this, or I don't know, I've talked about it so many fucking times with people, but went out one night, had a delicious drink when we were out with friends. Remember, it was called a gummy bear, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna make that.
You told the story how much.
Well, the short version of it is it's called a white gummy bear. I see you over there, Alice.
Yeah, well,
So
I'm interested.
got home and was like, I want that drink again. So I looked up a recipe, and all I could find was the shot. It was like a little bit more than a shot. It was pretty much a glass full. And so we started to experiment. It was like a friend date. It was me, my best friend, and my ex, and we were all sitting there getting shitty trying to remember this drink. We try it, like, nah, it didn't taste like that. Let's do it again. Let's do it with something different. And, so we ended up with like a concoction. It was like stupid measurements. It was like 1/4 of a shot of this, 3/4 of this, 1 ounce of this. But it worked. And like by the time we got through, we were almost too drunk to remember. Luckily, we had a dry erase board and a refrigerator nearby. And we wrote that shit down real quick.
And you didn't think to go back to the bar and be like, hey, can you tell me what's in this? I might be allergic.
Well, no, I just drink. You know, if I die, I die. But the bar we went to specifically is like an hour away because I live out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So like I couldn't just do that, and I didn't get the girl's name or number. So yeah, it was just one of those bar fun times. And
Mm-hmm.
all I remember was she was like, "Here, drink this." You know, we talked about safety last week or the week before. Don't ever do that. I did. I don't follow my own advice most of the time. She's like, "Here, drink this." And she gives us a drink. It's fucking delicious. It really is. I don't know what recipe you found, but it's not right.
I'm looking at a white gummy bear martini, and it sounds delicious.
What's it got in it?
Raspberry vodka, peach schnapps, sweet and sour, lemon lime soda, and gummy bears.
That is really close. We had cherry vodka and a little pineapple juice.
Ooh.
Really good. That actually probably is right, though.
My favorite website for looking up drink recipes, if anyone cares, is the Tipsy Bartender. It's tipsybartender.com.
I love them.
Fantastic. But yeah, that was really fun, though. I mean, and I feel that's like an established relationship. If I have to add that caveat, you know, don't go to your first date and get shitty trying to make drinks at home and just get blackout drunk.
Yeah.
Something else that can be kind of fun if you're careful about it is like making alcohol. Like if you wanted to make, for example, mead, that's something you can do at home if you're careful about it. And then you could make a whole date of trying the drinks that you made. And hopefully that's a real nice date. And if it's not, you just go to the liquor store and get better drinks.
Hell yeah. Anybody else got some indoor type activities they like to do besides
coloring book?
Coloring, okay.
Coloring book.
Painting together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. As I sit here and paint.
See, paint night with
in the spicier side, get body safe paint, douse each other, and like have some spicy times on a canvas.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to try that, but I haven't tried it.
Totally should. Yeah, in between switching positions, change
You
body
make money
paint
that
colors.
way.
Dream, that's one of the ideas I have for the fans that I'm opening up.
I loved that trend where people were painting the back, their asses and their legs and sitting on the canvas.
I wanted to do that, but I don't have anywhere to do that at.
See, I did the thing, but I modified it because, you know, there's no fucking way I could get up off of the floor, off of said painting without destroying it.
Mm-hmm.
I modified it and nailed the canvas to the wall. and just back that thing up.
Yeah, you did.
So what if you did it like one of those like mouse trap things and it just slaps you on the ass as it's going past?
That might be fun too. Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot to add a label for this, guys. My guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Let me be inclusive. Holly dates, like non-monogamous type dates. Obviously, group dates can work. The concept of group dates, going out bowling, going laser tagging, stuff like that. But speed dating, how fun would that be? If you know the intentions of that, like they have non-monogamous speed dating and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
you know, even so, even if it's just you and your partner, the non-monogamous people at the speed dating, as long as you communicate it, you're like, here we go. I mean, you're not really wasting anyone's time. I guess you can make good friends, but
Sit next to each other while you're speed dating. They're like, oh yeah, this is my mister over here.
I feel like
You
that
like
would
fish?
I feel like that would have a problem for like trans people, because that's not really a safe thing for trans people to do, and B, also you'd probably give off the impression of being unicorn hunters, even though there's nothing wrong with unicorns. Like, you know how people act about the idea.
I love how people act about that idea because as long as you're communicating your intentions, there's not a thing wrong with it. But I've always thought like that would be neat.
Or a discussion group to connect with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, like support
Doesn't
groups, stuff like that.
necessarily have to be a speed dating. It could be a
Like they do like workshops, and they have people have. I was gonna say
Meetups.
AA meetings, but it's not AA.
Clubs. There's like you can go to seminars and have discussion groups after. There's like whatever your interest is in, you can find a place to express it. Go ahead, Alice.
I've got two more suggestions I want to toss in there. One, if you both like live in the same town and there's something you both care about, go to your next town hall meeting. Show up as a date to harass your town council members or city council members about this thing you both care about.
I've never thought of that. Thank you, Alice. That sounds wonderful. Who wants to
That-
go with me?
Absolutely.
She's not down for the
Date
politics
on
thing. Can we make it a virtual date? Like,
I mean,
bring you on the
I'll
phone.
dress up pretty and stand there.
And
couples retreat
on
kind of things. Go ahead, Alice.
On the other side of the responsibility spectrum, there's video games. Like if you have, for example, Lav, Clara, and I have a date every week where we get on Discord and for like 2 or 3 hours we'll just play whatever video game we decide on that day, and like we'll use Discord to chat with each other while we do.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys put on cartoons, I'll be occupied for months at a time, and we can commentary on them all the time like I do with Alice.
That carbonated Florida air.
The check-ins.
Oh yeah, so I may have mentioned it a long time ago, but Multi-Amory has their radar check-in. I don't remember what the acronym's for.
Really
I just
good
remember
episode.
It's about sitting down and basically getting together with your partner or your partners. It's great if you have a kitchen table style, so you can all sit together and see the state of the union, so to speak. But they do that like once a month, so you can sit down and understand the intentions of so partner A and partner B, we've gotten engaged. Here's the wedding date. Here's all this stuff. Hey, I've started dating this other person. I'd like to bring them next month to meet you guys. Those kind of things. So it's like I said,
Ooh, it's getting serious. If you want to take them to the
good us.
So I just looked up radar over here to see if I understood what you were talking about.
Google, y'all.
And it's kind of a thing I do with Lav pretty regularly, and my other partners semi-regularly, where I'll be like, hey, I've been having fun. Like, is there anything you'd like us to be doing differently? Or like, The acronym stands for review, agree the agenda, discuss, action points, and reconnect. And like, it's just they recommend a month or whatever period of time you both agree on in between check-ins, and like it's really important again for that communication that needs to happen for the entire like the entirety of a relationship, not just early on. That you check in regularly and you go, hey, is there anything you'd like to be doing differently? Is there anything I've done recently you need to talk about? Or if you have something the other person that's done and you need to talk to them, having a space to do that. You could make a whole date out of that. You could be like, all right, once a month we're going to sit down, we're going to order in pizza or have drinks or whatever it is we're going to do, and we'll just go over. And like it's got a list of points over here under agree the agenda, and you could be like, hey, have we been spending enough quality time? How do you feel about the sex we've been having? Do we need to have more? Do we need to have less? Do you have any health things going on that you want to talk to me about? And like with polyamory, you can even talk about other partners and how those other relationships might be factoring into those same considerations. Like if you have if you have a partner who has multiple other partners and is sexually active with all of them, you might not get as much sex as you would want with that person because they're either worn out or busy with other people. And that could be something we're talking about. Another example is like money in works and projects, or work in projects. Like with Lav and I, we're pretty financially entangled because we have a house together. We split all our bills. So we talk about money pretty regularly. And like we don't have a formal like sit down and talk about it at night, but that's something we check in with like once or twice a month. Like, hey, how do your bills look for the next month? Do you think you'll be able to handle them? Do you need me to help? Or if someone knows they're going to go into trouble, like when Lav was having surgeries, there was the option there for me to help them cover their bills.
I think it's great. I really think it's a good concept for even monogamous partners to do, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like I said, it's kind of a state of the union, so to speak. It's kind of a play on the word there, but really, I think it's good to have those check-ins to know what's going on.
To plan your next non-monogamous retreat at some crazy wild resort in Cancun.
Desire in Cancun.
Can I just say real quick? I love Jesse. Jesse over there. Yeah, I love. Jesse is the only person on the planet that I would let get away with this shit.
A tickle date? That
Yeah.
doesn't sound like fun.
That doesn't sound like dream at all.
No, it's not, and it's terrible. But compromise and shit.
Oh man.
But like, yeah, I'm trying to break Jesse out of his shell and get him to be more public with shit because I love him and he needs to he needs to be friends with all my friends because that's what I said and that's what I'm making him do. Anyway,
well, hi Jesse. Welcome
hi Jesse.
To the group. We're glad you're here.
Welcome to our weekly AA meeting.
AA meeting.
In this case, it's Assholes Anonymous.
Yes.
Anonymous. He'd fit right in.
Listen, I don't identify as an asshole, you pricks.
No, Jen, you're here for moral support for Mr. He's asshole enough for both of you.
I mean, yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy, you guys.
All right, so now we can cut it down. Oh, it's like 6 minutes, not cutting it down early.
No,
so I do have two things.
right
I posted a
time.
question the other day on TikTok, just goofing off, and I think I posted on Facebook as well. I'd love for you guys to share, if you'd like to, your most unique date you've ever had.
Oh, I have my last thoughts.
I told mine. I don't know if it's appropriate for the rest of the world at the moment.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Like I've got a couple I can go off of. Go ahead, Alice.
The most unique one I think I have is that Lav and I go camping like every year to the same campground on Samhain, and like we'll have our little witchy practice and a tent that we'll spend some intimate time in this campground.
Very nice.
I like that a lot.
Same.
So
I'm trying to think of one.
You should have wrote it down. I don't know.
I'm kind of
So that took a guy to a friend's dairy farm and taught him how to milk cows.
Yes, Becca. Yes.
Hell yeah.
That is utterly amazing. I'm sorry. Are you not caffeinated enough for this?
Listen, this has had 6 shots of espresso in it.
So then I guess it would behoove you to just accept it.
Oh, I know my unique date that I
Go
went
for it.
on. I went playing with the wolves. Those
Nice.
things were huge and they topple over me, and the ones that I played with were in the Star Wars movie.
Hell
Nice.
yeah.
There were wolves in Star Wars?
Yeah, one of them's named Orion.
Neat.
That is neat.
So
Wait, when the fuck? Oh, wait, I'm getting hung up on this Star Wars thing. When were wolves in Star Wars?
I don't actually know. I just know they were in the movies because
Are you
they
sure
were in
they
the
weren't in
posters.
Game of Thrones?
No, they were in the posters.
I don't know. I don't remember any wolves in any Star Wars.
I think it was like if
Alice is all over it like stink on poop.
That's right. Oh, Matt's back, by the way. Jane,
Matt,
you want to ask about D&D?
I wanted
Welcome
to
back.
ask our audience again if they have any
Closing thoughts.
not closing thoughts, but the unique dates
Yeah.
that they wanted to share with us.
I do like
All
that
of you
too.
listening.
And Rebecca, I love that you're here every Monday.
so
Indeed.
can I share my unique
Yeah.
date?
Absolutely.
So I won't share the end of it. Well, fuck it. The
Yeah,
date
no.
started. The date started out with trail riding in a truck. Like we just went and drove through the forest in a truck, and it was absolutely a fucking blast. It ended with me tied to a tree, but that was also a blast.
I like how it got kind of serial killer for just a second, and then it like swerved back over. I love it. That's the good thing.
How is trail riding serial killer?
It was the tie. You were tied to a tree part.
Oh. But I wanted to be tied to the tree, so there's that.
Becca, I can think of one of yours actually. It involved in line for Star Wars Episode 1, and Newport Cinemas.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
We went to the science museum, Lav and I, and then like it got too busy for us to hit the actual like gym part in it. And I'm real mad about that because like it had a physics section that was like, here's how the physics works on this particular thing. Go get on that zip line. Now we've told you how it works.
Ooh.
And like
That would be fun.
I also want to go back there sometime.
See, I
To
kept
answer the
just
question
reading
earlier.
that. I kept reading. I want to go back to bed. I was about to say, well, go to bed, laugh.
To answer the question earlier, apparently wolves have been a recurring thing in the animated Star Wars shows, and they use a real live wolves to do like the mocap and the like voiceover for them.
That makes sense.
Voiceover.
I was thinking of like in Attack of the Clones, the scene in the fighting pit that has the animals, and I was like, oh, maybe that.
It was the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels.
Very nice. Matt, that's a good date. I think fishing is actually something we didn't talk about. would be a great date. I
It's a
mean,
great
if you're both into fishing, so
Even if
you're sitting there quietly, conversating and enjoying your day. It's a little bit
Conversing.
Communicating.
conversating.
yeah.
I owe you 2 punches.
Those are my most memorable dates have been like road trip dates. Cheap snacks in the fucking backseat, and let's see where we get and where we go to. Those have always been the best. We have the best adventures, and they all blur together.
I think
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying the most memorable date that I've had. Like the first one that came to mind was so I went out with a friend on a double date. Like I was just told I was going on a double date.
Oh my god.
Okay, whatever. Let's do this. And
I wonder.
no, it's not that one.
No, it's not the mute
No,
story.
it's not the mute story.
Oh, okay. That's
But-
another story for another
So
time.
I get there, and he goes inside, and I come in with him, and for some reason, oh no, it was her idea. They met at Hooters, which was kind of, I was like, okay, I'm down for this already. And we go in, they're on a date, and when people set you up on a double date, more than likely, you can assume you're probably not going to be attracted to the person. It was like, well, I've got a
You
friend.
got a 50-50
You do.
chance.
You got a 50-50 chance. More often than not, if somebody sets you up with somebody, though, so they can secure a date.
Oh, well, you didn't have good boy. Well, that was okay, whatever.
So
Right.
I assumed
Carry
it was
on.
somebody I wasn't going to be attracted to.
Unless it's a hot set of twins, then.
Right. Now, twins are a different ballgame.
Ooh,
Yeah, they are.
I get that.
you guys.
But we go in, and we end up, because they drove separately, me and him drove together, and his date was terrible. Like, he had a shitty time. Meanwhile, I walk in, this girl, absolutely beautiful, like much prettier than her roommate, by my personal standards. And we're hitting it off. And then she's like, "Hey, do you want to go walk downtown? Maybe go shoot some pool and stuff?" And I was like, "Well, I got to ride here." She's like, "I'll take you home." I'm like, okay, it's a great time. It's like I find it memorable because every time I have expectations, it never goes that way.
Maybe you should fucking quit having expectations for certain things the way you do. Maybe you should change your expectations.
Probably. I have since then.
Yes, you really have. Yes,
I really have.
you really have.
But it takes those moments of expecting something that going absolutely shit, and then, or absolutely good if I thought it would go shitty, and here we are. But yeah, I
Well,
wonder how she's doing. She was nice.
it is officially over. Time for this to be over.
It's always
Does
overtime.
anybody have any closing thoughts?
I think I'm going to swing first this time. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Alice, if you want
Go ahead.
first.
Go ahead.
I know I usually take last, but I don't want it this time. Somebody else is going to nail it.
I'll take last.
Sounds gravy. Remember when dating, you're human and fallible. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have odd expectations. And just try to remember to be authentic and communicating. That's all I got to say.
Ray, Dream.
Go ahead, Dream.
You expect me to say something?
Do you have thoughts to close with?
Not yet.
Well, I kind of forgot to mention that I did some research this week for Munch, all on my own, some field research, and I took myself out on an unconventional date that I have been wanting to go to for a while and just haven't had anybody to go to with. So I took myself, and I went to IKEA, and I had Swedish meatballs. And I actually ordered off the kids menu because there's too many on the adult plate. This kids menu is perfect size for me. And I walked around IKEA and I had a fucking blast. but it would have been much funner with somebody else and like a fucking cell phone camera, and we could have recorded like the craziest shit. Because IKEA is a housing store. I feel like some of y'all are looking at me like, "What the fuck is IKEA?"
What the fuck is
a
IKEA
housing
doing
store?
serving meatballs?
It's a housing store.
It's a thing that they do.
Sweden. They're Swedish-based
Mhm.
stores, so they have like Swedish food and they have little cafeteria you can visit. But they also, their main thing is they sell furniture. But they have like this showroom floor with the furniture all set up in different like bedrooms and kitchens, and like they had a whole house set up in like 1,000 square feet or some shit. Yeah, it was really cool. It would have been fun to take somebody with me to play
You
hide
got
and seek.
somebody here that would go to IKEA with you.
Yes, let's go.
Hi, Brenna. I heard you guys had a great time the other day.
I would go to IKEA with anyone on this panel,
Even
for the
me.
record. Even you, mister.
Oh my goodness, you must love IKEA.
So
So they, in addition to furniture, they also sell plushies, and their
Yes.
stuffed shark has become like the trans mascot.
That's cool.
So I have a question about IKEA. I know it's totally off topic, but are the rumors true that the employees stay there all night and try to eat you if you stay in the store after hours?
Probably
No.
trying to get the meatballs.
IKEA meets Sweeney Todd.
There's
Mr.
a
Underwood
whole
about
video game about IKEA turning into this infinite monster mess where the employees try to eat you.
Oh, this sounds terrific. Like, that sounds like a whole date day in one. Like, play the video game before y'all go for dinner at IKEA and to walk around. Yeah.
Yeah, Soup made me play that once, and I was like, oh my god, this is so fun and so scary at the same time.
So, my closing thoughts on the topic of this evening. Oh, I'm so sorry. Be open, but also know how to communicate your limits and boundaries when it comes to like someone asking you to go do something. If it's something you don't want and you're really, really not interested in participating in, don't. It's, I know, not easy for all of you, but you need to make it a little easier. You have to learn how to say no, no matter who it is asking you. If it is the hottest motherfucker in the whole wide world asking you to do some crazy shit that you would not do with your bestest friend, you really need to check your shit and don't be doing that.
If you aren't having fun the first time, what makes you think you're going to have fun the second time?
Right.
Like, if somebody's willing to take you and they're not going to check in on you and be like, hey, are you having fun? I don't think that that's a match, and maybe you should like say something like, sorry, I'm not having fun. This ain't working out for me. Goodbye. Don't ghost people.
I'm gonna be that pedantic bitch for a second. Not every date has to be fun, as long as the experience is good, right? Like, for example, you could be going to like a historical museum. There's a whole lot of shit in history that's not fun to learn about, but it could be interesting to go together if it's a mutual interest.
And also,
I know a guy who would die fangirling over a history museum, so.
And like I said, it
I
depends
think
on
we
the
all
person.
do.
But also, if they have to ask you if you're having fun, though, you're probably not having fun.
Challenge that. I'm autistic. I don't.
Oh yeah, okay, you're right. There are always caveats to it for sure.
Yeah. I'll be sitting there having fun, and my face will be.
That's
Okay,
fair.
fair enough. Ray, anything from you?
Yes. Unconventional dates are really cool. Whatever you're doing, just enjoy the experience. But I would also like to be that person that says, just because somebody takes you on an amazing date, spends whatever, does not imply consent for anything more than what you are willing to consent to enthusiastically. You do not owe somebody a blowjob because they spent $100 on your dinner.
Fuck, they lied to me.
You shoot and you score.
But absolutely, I couldn't agree anymore.
Thank you.
This kind of rolls into what I get to say is don't have expectations. Like even silly, stupid ones that you think like the roommate is not going to be your type and all this stuff. But even to the point of don't expect your date to put out because you bought drinks. Don't expect
Dates are not conditional.
Good or bad time. You should be able to go and just enjoy, like I said, enjoy the experience, because it could turn into what may seem like an awful date, may turn into one of your best dates. If you go into it with a closed mind already, if the decision's already made on how the date's going to go, you might as well not even show up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and don't ghost people unless you feel like unsafe by them, and then you can ghost the fuck out. If you're not feeling it and they seem like a good person, at least let them know. Like, hey, I had fun. I'm cool with being friends. We can hang out anytime if that's what you want to do. But as far as moving past this, it's not for me. Communication. Bring it home, Alice.
A date is a date, first and foremost. Like, the experience is going to be awesome if it's like a cool place you go and you have a great time. But the point is to spend time with the other person. So kind of bouncing off of the don't have expectations, any date, conventional, unconventional, if it's something that you both agree to and you both want to do, it's going to be a good time. Don't be like, oh, I have to make it exciting and something new and interesting every time. Just spend time with people and enjoy it.
And dates will go wrong and still turn out right. Person. Go ahead.
Learn to laugh at your own misfortune a little bit. Yep. Sometimes things go horribly wrong, but if you can laugh your way through it, you end up making even better memories.
Yep.
Because last year when I went on my first date with Bess, I had this whole plan, and then I totally forgot it was a Tuesday, not a Saturday. So the restaurant we were going to go to was closed.
Oh.
The bar we went to had went under being repaired, and so they were boarded up and not open. Went by the lake to sit for a little bit, and it was, instead of a nice, comfortable evening, it was fucking ice cold. So, like, but we still had a good time, and I ended up getting a second date. Luckily, because we still ended up back at work eating at Applebee's. It was just a disaster all around, but it made for a good memory and a good laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty disastrous.
Oh, it sums me up perfectly, though. It really does. Didn't plan shit right. It was all a disaster.
Was that the time you forgot your wallet, too?
Forgot my wallet.
Uh-huh.
Like, it was a whole fun thing. Had my wallet, didn't have my card. That's what it was. Had my wallet, my debit card was not in it. So, yeah, if you're going to expect anything, expect
one of our first dates, you locked the keys in the car.
Yep. Locked my keys in the truck.
It was fun.
Yeah. But I'm still me, and I roll with these things.
Yes.
Fuck it. We're having a good time.
It showed me that he's not an asshole. Like,
don't tell people
that he's not gonna have a fucking meltdown over locking his fucking keys in the car and like start punching his fucking car over some stupid shit.
I'm like, yeah, if I gotta break a window, I will. But whatever, we'll break this motherfucker open. We got this.
Look, if you have to wreck your own car because you're upset about a date, I think you need something else besides a date.
Well, some humans be crazy and get like all emotional about like locking the keys in the car or like any inconvenience fucking happening and do stupid shit.
What's you got, Alice?
And they my people.
As a trans person at max dose on HRT, I'm like at the level of hormones of a woman who's 6 months pregnant all the time.
That's
so there's always a lot of emotions, right? It's one thing to get emotional about something stupid like locking your keys in the car, and another thing to be shitty about it.
Right.
Like I'll see something cute and I'll be like, hold on, I need to go take a moment, and I'll go somewhere for 5 minutes and cry and then come back.
Mood.
And like that's fine.
Excuse me, I have to go hide in the bathroom for 3 minutes and then, come back out and be fine again.
Mhm.
Well, sometimes a good poop helps everything.
I think that is a great last thought. Sometimes a good poop helps everything.
Give me 2 seconds to pull up. I've got next week's munch on here somewhere. Keep going with a good poop. That's like the perfect closing thought. The closing thought every week.
A good poop. Yeah, good poops. Poops are good.
A good poop helps all the time. Next week I have Brenna. I hope you're actually still here. You wanted to be a part of this, or was it Michelle? Melissa. It was Melissa or Brenna. One of you two wanted to be a part of this one. We're going to be talking about the love languages. Might be both.
More than likely.
Am I way
love language is like.
We'll get there.
I'm
French.
excited for
Love
that one.
language is French.
So yeah, the love spectrum, including different relationship styles and dynamics, is not at all what I just said. So we'll make it the love languages thing. I don't know where I saw that, but I know it's something that a lot of us want to talk about too. Brenna said that's my new tagline.
A good poop helps everything.
Good poop helps everything.
Oh, a good poop, yes.
But yeah, so you guys down for love languages next week?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so we'll all pick one. Nico, there's 5 of us. Whatever. Nobody's gonna pick one. We'll just fucking discuss them all.
Yeah.
I
We can hit the send button. We can send her off.
Somebody will sit here and teach me what love languages are.
So
I can talk to you about that either after this or on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, and I'll drop some
Oh,
resources. Things too.
absolutely. Yes.
Have a great
All
night,
week long.
everybody. Thanks for sticking around. And I'm gonna hit this
See you
button.
next week.
Sit here